little bit of a stormy day here in the north suburbs. We've got a boys lacrosse contest for you today. Traveling from a couple of hours north, we've got the Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers who enter this contest sitting at 2-6 on the season, and the Blaine Bengals who sit at 4-6 on the season. I'm Ted LaRue. I'm going to be taking you through this one here today between the Bengals and the Hilltoppers here today as we are ready at midfield for the face-off of this boys lacrosse contest today. Some players to watch out for either team. For Blaine, you're probably looking at Robert Cruikshank and Steven Axelrod, a couple of 20-goal scorers for the Bengals this season. Cruikshank, 21 goals respectively. Axelrod sitting at 20. Axelrod also tied with the team lead in assists with 12 this season as well. And when you're looking to the other side for Duluth Marshall as we're underway, Kyler Black leads the team with 11 goals. He's got this one in the midfield as Blaine looking to set up their first attack back in their own end of the field. Ashton Truckton kind of works it ahead, pass a little bit off there over at midfield as they're fighting for it. Blaine comes away with the ball and they're looking to sprint down the field on an attack. There's Russell Thera's the midi, feeds it off. Blaine's got a chance here in behind. Well, they were at X, and now they're working here more towards the near sideline. This is Weston Johnson. Works it up top at the top of the alley. Ethan Burnett. Burnett trying to get an opportunity. Good defense here by Marshall. Burnett working through. One bounce goes over the net, and it looks like this one's going to stay Blaine ball. So Blaine getting the first opportunity here today. We'll see what they can do on a potential second opportunity here for the Bengals. This is Burnett at the top. Burnett shot once again, another miss, and Blaine will retain possession once again. Remember, it's who's closest to the ball when it goes out of bounds. They will either retain possession or it'll go back the other way. In behind the net at X. Works it back to the far side. Now working towards the middle. Back down low, winds, fires, and we got our first goal of the game for the Bengals. That's Weston Johnson, number 5. Patience pays off, and the Bengals are on the board first here today. A really nice play. They've had full control and full possession of the ball since this one has started, and Weston Johnson is the one that buries it in the back of the net to get the scoring started for the Bengals here tonight. So 1-0 game as they face off at midfield, and the face-off is going back and forth here as they scrum for it, and it's picked up here by Duluth Marshall as this one's going to be Ezra Romo working things up. Romo, we'll see if he can get things started and they get in a rhythm. Colin McCarthy has it here, one of the leading scorers on the team, 8 goals, 4 assists on the season. He's the second leading scorer on this Hilltopper squad as they make some substitutions. Ezra Romo, we're just talking about him. He takes a seat on the sidelines. Eli Thorson. Blaine doing a good job so far, keeping them to the outside here. But now a run. Good opportunity, kind of from an odd angle. Had a lot of smoke on that one, but fires it wide on the shot. Eli Thorson was down there for Duluth Marshall. As now Blaine will have possession of the ball as they work things up the near side of the field. This is Austin Truckton. He was looking for a rush and a run of some kind, but he thinks better of it. Kind of finds his way into a couple of Marshall defenders. Rolled over to the far side. Oh, Axelrod. Axelrod, number 4. You see him there as he kind of works back to the middle of the field. This is Burnett. Burnett has kind of manned that point so far at the top, looking to get the play started. Doesn't exactly go his way this time, but he's going to get another opportunity of it. Well, it appeared that way anyway, and Marshall will come down with the ball. This is Carter Tansky. Tansky along the far sideline, right in front of the Blaine bench, and we've got some contact there. Riley Quinn, the long stick midi for the Bengals, was in on that physical defensive play, and Blaine now will have possession. And tough turnover back on their own end of the field. Sam Barry for Marshall was in there. Marshall so far has kind of had a little bit of we got kind of a scrum towards the net, but this one's going to be picked up, and Blaine will kind of carry this one out. And they got a big time run in this one past midfield. This is Weston Johnson. He's already got a goal in this game. Great passing down in front, and Blaine with their second goal of the game. It's all started with Weston Johnson, and it finishes up with 23 Sebastian Baldwin, his first goal. The senior attack puts it in, and we've got a 2-0 lead for the Bengals. Another look at this one. Just great passing, tic-tac-toe, they say in hockey, and they also say in hockey, yeah, the 5-hole. Going between the legs on the goaltender there, and Bengals have had control of this game from the outset. From the outset. That's Baldwin's sixth goal of the season. 6 goals, 4 assists, now in double digits, when it comes to points so far this season. This is going to be Marshall ball. Yes, it is going to be picked up there by Eli Thorson. Thorson picks it up, and he takes a sprint here down the near sidelines. That's Russell Theres with the defense. Thorson looking to go to the middle, thinks better of it. Some pretty good defensive structure there for the Bengals. Back to the top. This is Colin McCarthy. Mentioned earlier in the broadcast, he's going to be one of the top scorers, or look to be one of the top scorers here today. Shot looks like went just a little bit wide. That's Colin McCarthy, I should say. Looking at the wrong roster there momentarily. 4 and 4 on either side. Both number 4 is going to be certainly look to get involved a lot here today. Here's McCarthy. A couple of defenders there working to get the ball to the middle. Well, once again, it has been very tough to get into the middle of this Bengal defense. Kitty got claws, no question about that, in the middle for the Baby Blues and the white uniforms for Blaine here so far. This early evening, very windy here at Blaine High School today. McCarthy will look to set things up. He feeds things over. This is Leighton Anderson, 21, looking to get a run. Works to the outside, now trying to get things to the middle. There's a shot. Opportunity kind of on this near hash mark. Sam Barry fired it wide. But Marshall will retain possession. From the X set behind. Blaine early in that potential attack takes the ball away. Possession kind of alternating back and forth here. Here's the run from Kyler Black. Mentioned him at the top of the broadcast, the leading scorer for this Marshall team this season. Now Blaine trying to get out and get an attack of their own, but Eli Thorson just pestering the Blaine ball carrier there for a moment. Now the Bengals have an opportunity, splitting the double. Pretty good opportunity here. Hard shot, fires, and it goes wide. That was Steven Axelrod with the opportunity. Blaine created a turnover and an offensive chance, but maybe a little bit too far out there to have a little bit more of an accurate shot and a better scoring chance. Loose ball around the midfield, whistle, and Marshall will have this one. This is Black. Kyler Black, defended there by Austin Trucon. Marshall with an opportunity, and a shot looks like it just went a little bit wide, and Blaine will have the ball here. This is Rilo Haight, gets things started up the middle of the field. Preston Powell over to, that's Romo, Ezra Romo back in this game. Now he's going to check out just like that. Marshall looking to set up an attack. They've been held off the scoreboard here so far. Pretty good chance. Save for the Bengals. They keep it out. Once again, a good defensive play, but that was probably one of the best scoring opportunities that Marshall has had so far in this game. If you're Blaine, you gotta love what's going on with your defense in this game right now. Burnett will look to get things set up here. Feeds it back to the top. This is Russell Theres, the midi. Looking to get a head start running. Fires it, looking to go to the top right corner, but that one was well high and well wide of the net. But Blaine will keep possession. They were closest to the ball there. Behind the net at X. Defender Ethan Sauco kind of forces him wide, forces Blaine to kind of go a different direction, but second chance is the best opportunity. It's Robert Cruikshank who puts the ball into the back of the net, and it is a 3-0 lead for Blaine. That is Cruikshank's 22nd goal of the year. You kind of see it here, kind of bowing him to the outside, but then here's the patience. Gets it to Burnett, and then boom, the pass right in the middle to Cruikshank. He's just hanging out in front of the net, and boy, I tell you what, it doesn't get much easier than that. And Cruikshank, that's the scorer that you want. He's going to be kind of hanging out right in front of the net there, and it doesn't, like I said before, it doesn't get a whole lot easier than that. 3-0 lead for the Bengals here in the first quarter. Boys have always kind of been 4 quarters. Girls going to 4 quarters this past year. There's another quick opportunity for Blaine. That one's fired high and fired wide. Bengals will keep possession. Weston Johnson has it here, defended by Noah Heller. Now Marshall you can tell they're trying to press a little bit more. There's Rilo Haight will take the ball away, trying to gather possession over there, but he obviously does not, so Blaine will keep the ball here. This is Johnson. Weston Johnson with a run. Looks like he's got someone there in the middle, and that was Cruikshank, but defenders converging. Ethan Sauco, among others, in the middle there for Marshall. Sun's starting to peek out here certainly a little bit. After a little bit of a lot of a cloudy day. Storms, certainly the severe thunderstorms rolling in. Maybe even a tornado watch or warning as well. So it's been quite the afternoon weather-wise here. Working past midfield, spinning and going just right into a triple team. Yeah, you're going to get some contact. you're gonna get hit around, no question. That's Ezra Romo, kind of going into that trio of Blaine defenders over there. And it looks like we've got our first timeout of the day. Blaine holding on to a 3-0 lead. Marshall has certainly tightened up the defense, gotten a few more opportunities since those first couple of goals. It's a Duluth Marshall timeout here, so they've gotten a few more of these opportunities, but still, this is a Blaine controlled lacrosse game here, no question about that throughout this game here so far. Blaine is coming off 3 consecutive wins in their last 3 games, and how about 4 out of their last 5? Back on Monday, May 5th, they were able to down Anoka 12-10, and then they welcomed a school from across the river. They're from the Hudson Raiders from Wisconsin, got a 10-6 win over there, and then how about putting up 14 goals and only allowing 3 at Totino Grace on Wednesday night. So this is a team, you look at how they started. I mean, 5 consecutive losses to Edina, a 1-goal loss to Centennial, a 2-goal loss to Andover, a 2-goal loss to Irondale, a 1-goal loss to Champlain Park. And then they finally got their first win of the season, April 30th, 15-12 win over Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids. So this is a team that kind of went through a good amount of close games. You know, those 4 losses over there were all decided by 2 goals or less. That first game against Edina was 18-4. Obviously, they're a great lacrosse program, but even in the losses this season, they've been fairly close in a lot of these games, and maybe some of these games could have gone either way. Here comes Marshall, and they get their first goal of the game right out of the timeout. And right out of the timeout, you go to your top attacker, and your top attacker strikes. That's Kyler Black firing this one home, and it makes it 3-1 with 2.5 to play here in the first quarter. We'll take another look at it, and you see the defenders slipping. That creates the open lane, the open opportunity, and he's able to snipe it in. And sometimes, like a goal like that and a misplay there from the Blaine defender just falling down. It's been a lot of, it's been a lot of rain on this field here. Of course, it's an artificial turf field, but still, there's been a lot of rain certainly here today. And just like that, Blaine is able to, on the ensuing possession, they're able to take the lead back and make this one 4-1. I believe that's number 3, Noah Fish, with the goal. We'll take another look at it and confirm here. And there it is. Yep, Noah Fish, just a one hop, gets past the goaltender there. 4 goals for Blaine today, 4 different goal scorers. It's been Sebastian Baldwin, Robert Cruikshank, Weston Johnson, and now Noah Fish. Blaine has the ball off the draw. See who can win these final 2 minutes. That Duluth Marshall goal maybe was an opportunity for them to get back into the game, but what a key answer right away for Fish to be able to kind of get that momentum coming back in their direction as we've got that ball towards midfield, and whistle. It will be Blaine ball, I believe, here. Yep. Stephen Axelrod feeds it off, and we get things started. Back to the top, this is Blake Bunes. Back to Axelrod, looking to work things around the perimeter of this offensive formation. Back at X. This is Baldwin. He's got a goal already in this game. Working towards the middle. That's exactly what you need. You want to turn the corner on your defender. A good shot opportunity by Robert Cruikshank. He already had a goal in this game, but no siree this time. And Marshall with Sam Barry getting past 2 Blaine defenders over there. Run on the net. Save, and that one was kept out. Isaac Lindquist in net for Blaine here this evening. Lindquist on the season, an 11.94 goals against average, 54.4 save percentage. Riley Theris has also been in net during this season as well. A couple of opportunities from Luke Mateer as well. 15 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Looking to dance around there and create an open opportunity. Spinning, juking, spinning, scoring. Ethan Burnett. What a great couple of moves. And with just a handful of seconds to go, the Bengals extend their lead. Watch this right here. Puts his foot in the ground, gets past one, spins past another, and he's able to put it on the bounce into the back of the net. That is absolutely gorgeous. And a 5-1 lead for Blaine. You know, that goal from Marshall just a couple of minutes ago, with just a couple of minutes left here in this first quarter, that was maybe an opportunity for them to get back into this one, but it's been all Blaine since then. Another scoring opportunity right off the draw. Cruikshank on a bounce, fires it wide, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter, and it's been a great first quarter certainly for Blaine. Coming out this one, it's been storming a little bit today, and Blaine storming coming out of the gates at the end of the first quarter. We've got the second quarter right after this break on North Metro TV.
Buddy, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
Beginning of the second quarter here at Blaine High School, and it's been all Bengals so far, scoring 5 of the 6 goals in this contest here today. And it's been 5 different goal scorers for Blaine. Sebastian Baldwin, Robert Cruikshank, Weston Johnson, Noah Fish, and Ethan Burnett as goal scorers for Blaine. Here on this one as we get ready at midfield for the face-off to get this second quarter started. Off the draw, Russell Theris comes away with it. See if Blaine can add to this lead. Back to Axelrod at the top. Axelrod looking to get a run. Works it towards the middle. It's exactly what they want, but some good defense there. Logan Vang, the 8th grade attacker, was in the middle there and we got a collision towards midfield on Marshall's opportunity, and don't believe anything was called here. And we got a scramble for the ball. It's going to be picked up here by Duluth Marshall. That's Rilo Haight. Haight on a run. Up for the Hilltoppers. Haight kind of fires. It looks like it got deflected. Took one bounce in front of the net, but luckily for Blaine, it doesn't take the wrong bounce. This is Kyler Black, the only goal scorer of the game for the Hilltoppers in this matchup. Pressured defensively, trying to keep him out of the middle of the field. There's that long stick midi. A.J. Neese with some defense. Black get into the middle, and he is, he runs into a couple of Blaine defenders. They do a great job converging on him right there, and we got a whistle, and this is going to be Blaine ball. And we see another look here of this hit. Yeah, boy, it's just a couple of times throughout this game where you have a Marshall attacker and these Blaine defenders converge. A lot of time that is the end result. The attacker going down to the field here, and it's Burnett at the top. Okay, we got a timeout here called by the Bengals as they maintain a 5-1 lead in this matchup. Nothing doing so far here in the second quarter of this matchup here at Blaine High School here today. Once again, to recap, Kyler Black with just the only goal for Duluth Marshall in this contest so far. It's been tough to kind of get into good scoring position for the Hilltoppers here today. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Duluth Marshall is sitting there at 2-6, and they've only won just one game against a team from Minnesota. I should say they lost a game earlier this season to a team from Superior, Wisconsin. Both their wins are from teams against Minnesota. And on Wednesday, April 16th, a win at Cloquet-Esco Carleton. That was a 3-2 win there. And then April 24th, a 10-2 win over a Northwest Suburban Conference team in Osseo Park Center. But if you kind of look at the last couple of matchups, you've got a loss on April 29th, 6-14 to that Duluth Wolfpack co-op team. The game against Andover was canceled on May 7th, and on May 10th, an 11-3 loss to Champlain Park, and then they battled to a 9-7 loss to Proctor Hermantown in that game as well. And that's how we covered Blaine and what they had. But you look at coming off of 3 consecutive victories, right there you got to be feeling good. Rogers and Maple Grove will finish things off in their schedule. So if they can, we got a long way to go here in this one, but if you could find a way to win and win your last couple, you'll be one of the hottest teams in your section, going down to, who knows, maybe a possible state tournament berth. Great cut to get free. Feeds it out, but was not able to control the ball out there. That's 18 Wyatt Parent. 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. This is Joey Gregorich. Gregorich pressured. Gregorich lost the ball for a moment. Can't quite get a hold on it. And now Parent feeds it off, and here comes a rush back the other way. Here comes that great passing that we've seen earlier today. Shot it right into the chest of the goalkeeper. That's 31 Wyatt Brown, but that was a fantastic scoring opportunity for the Bengals. Couldn't quite come out with it. We got a flag here, and that will stop play. Last scoring opportunity, and we've talked many times about the great passing that we've seen today. Well, yeah, you got his stick up there to kind of cross-check the ball away, so to speak, in the breakaway opportunity from Weston Johnson. Had an opportunity to put his second goal on the stat sheet here today. Long shot from a couple of multiple yard lines away. Goes a little bit high and a little bit wide on that one. As we've got a flag here. So it'll be Blaine ball at the top. It'll be Wyatt Parent getting things started for the Bengals. Lost ball. See if they can get control of this thing once again. This one's just rolling behind the goal line. Going all the way back out towards midfield. This is Noah Fish. Feeds it off around the horn here. Back up top. This is Theris. Theris looking to get it down low, but instead possession of the ball. We'll head over the Hilltoppers. Interception. Turnover. Oh, a great save off of the stick there. You know, bad spot in that turnover, but a nice job by Wyatt Brown to turn that way again. He's had a couple of good saves here in a row lately. Well, nice move to get around there, and a nice shot by Steven Axelrod. He had a lot of smoke on that one, but it just went a little bit wide to the left out there. That last save right here, boy, right at point blank. He just turns it away, getting that net up. Bengals have it behind the net. Another one-shot opportunity, and this one connects. From the outside, that is Burnett with his second goal of this contest, and Blaine takes a 6-1 lead, a 5-goal advantage. Just working this one up to the top, finding the right lane to go to, and that one was fired past the goaltender. And with 7.5 to go here in the second, Blaine stays in control of this game.
Scoring his second goal of the evening for the Bengals, number 12, Ethan Burnett.
Loose ball in front of the Marshall net. Hilltoppers come away with it. It's just, yeah, well, it's been hard for Marshall to really maintain possession and really get a lot of good, crisp, consecutive passes on a lot of their offensive sets and a lot of their offensive opportunities. Just hasn't gone their way at times. Loose ball in front of Brown. Marshall trying to scoop it up and get that out of there, but Hilltoppers having a tough time. Bengals come away with it. Immediately, two Hilltoppers defenders right there, and Ethan Burnett, a couple of goals in this game. Also, Theres. If I'm Blaine, I'm taking my time. I mean, you're sitting there with a 5-goal lead. Take your time. Find the right open opportunity. Bengals have the ball in behind the net, trying to get a good cross center right in front of the goaltender, but some good defensive awareness there for Marshall to be around. This is Leighton Anderson with the run for the Hilltoppers, and now they're going to get a chance to kind of just hang out in their attacking end, see if they can string a few passes together to possibly get that goal on the board. Here's Colin McCarthy, a shot. This one goes wide. That is one of the better opportunities that the Toppers have had so far in this game. Another look at it right here. You almost see the guy's almost trying to like set a screen, something you might see in basketball, looking to go a little bit wide, but good position there by the goalie. And right after that whistle, another shot opportunity for the black and gold, but doesn't pan out their way. They're going to get a third opportunity with the ball here on this end. Ezra Rude has it, feeds it off to Anderson. 21 versus 21 here. Theres defending. Anderson looking for somebody in the middle. Nobody home. Up to Thorson at X. Behind the net. Defended by Tejan Spaniel. Thorson lost the ball momentarily. I mean, this was a really good defensive structure for Blaine. You were talking about there earlier in that set how they couldn't quite get to the middle. They get to the outside. I believe we're going to get a timeout here. They get to the outside, and then they, at that point, fumble it away, and they got to take a timeout. So Blaine has done a really good job structuring their defense, not allowing those close opportunities and getting it to the middle. That's a lot of in lacrosse where you want to get at those kind of point blank type of shots, and Blaine has just, they've not allowed that to happen throughout this game so far. Bengals maintaining a 6-1 lead. Ted LaRue along with you. Here we've got boys lacrosse action on North Metro TV here this evening. Ethan Burnett leads the way with Blaine. He's netted 2 goals so far in this contest. Burnett, just 4 goals and 5 assists coming into this game. So Burnett, goals 5 and 6 for him this season. The first goal scorer was Sebastian Baldwin, netting his 6th goal of the season so far. This looks like a Blaine team that can go pretty deep with their scoring attack, and we've seen it so far today where, you know, it looks like they've got like 3 or 4 really top scorers with Crookshank, Axelford. Noah Fisher scored today. He had 18 goals coming into this game, so he's at 19 here today. He's just 1 goal shy from Axelford, who's second on the team in scoring today. Out of the timeout, Marshall still striving for that second goal. Eli Thorson will get this opportunity started as he sprints around back at X, around to this perimeter fence that Blaine is really setting defensively. Now breaking the perimeter was Thorson, it looked like, and he fires this one wide to the left. That had another good look at a shot and a potential goal there. Didn't turn out that way. Sam Berry will get things started. Berry gets by the defender. We'll see if he can get to the middle here. Now this is where you set up some good passes, try to get the defense moving a little bit. Up top, that's a shot. That one looked like it went off the pipe. Not sure if it was the crossbar or where exactly it ricocheted off of, but a very close opportunity there from long distance for the Hilltoppers. Now the Bengals just settle down in their attacking end. Blaine takes possession here as they're looking to set things up. Once again, kind of was saying it before. Take your time. Now you're sitting there with that 5-goal lead. Not only when you take your time, you find the right opportunity and the right shot. But the backside of that is, of course, you're taking time off the clock for Marshall to possibly get some additional goals and get back into this game. Boy, right at the high slot there, kind of fading away, but still got the shot off, didn't go. Loose ball in front. It's picked up by goalie Wyatt Brown. And now the Hilltoppers looking to get a run here with Ethan Sauko. Sauko fires it, and this one went well wide. Just on a lot of the open opportunities for the Toppers today. They just haven't been ultra accurate and haven't gotten the ball on net. As the Bengals will look to run this one forward. This is Ashton Trucken. Looking to get free. Hasn't been a whole lot of scoring. It was 5-1 at the end of the first. Just 1 goal in the second quarter. Come from a Bengals stick here today. Weston Johnson looking to create. He's defended by Noah Heller. Looked like they wanted to work this one down to X. Some good defense there. Carter Tansky to turn it around, got free. A nice save there by Wyatt Brown to kind of turn this one away. Blaine will get another chance. They've got it in deep, and Brown turns it away once again. Late flag comes in there, and Brown trying to battle to get the ball back for his team. I think we're going to get a timeout here called by Marshall. Yeah, with 1:56 to go. And the Bengals leading 6-1 here right now. Duluth Marshall, occupies the Lake Superior Conference with Duluth, that Wolfpack co-op team, Hermantown Proctor, Grand Rapids Greenway, Superior, Wisconsin, Cloquet-Esco Carleton, and that's kind of the order of the standings. Duluth Marshall 1-4 in conference this season. You got Duluth sitting there with a 6-5 record, Hermantown Proctor up there at 6-4. Grand Rapids Greenway at 6-5. You know, Duluth 5-0 in conference. Hermantown Proctor at 5-1. Grand Rapids Greenway at 4-2. So the top of that conference still could have a lot certainly to be decided as of yet. There, kind of in the northern part of our great state here in Minnesota. And then you look at it at the other side here for Blaine in the northwest suburban. Of course, just a few more teams. Rogers 9-1 overall. They're 6-0 in conference. Centennial sitting there with a 5-1 conference record. A couple of non-conference losses though. Andover also has 5 conference wins, but they've lost twice in conference so far. Like, you've got 5 teams with 2 or less losses in conference. Blaine, Champlain Park, Elk River, Zimmerman sit with 3-3 conference records so far this season. Coming out of the timeout, Bengals in behind the net, looking to add to that lead. They've got themselves in a great opportunity. Going top shelf, Steven Axelford gets his first goal of the game and his 21st of the season. Bengals take a 7-1 lead, and this is they had a lot of spacing right there, and boom, just a great pass, and that's a bang play where you got to get the pass off, got to make the catch, got to square up and shoot that ball fairly quickly, and that's exactly what happened for the goal there. 6-goal lead. Blaine feeling very, very comfortable right now. Here's Theris. Theris works it ahead right off the draw, fires it, and we got ourselves another goal. This time from the long stick midi, Riley Quinn fires it in for his first goal of this game, and Blaine starting to run away with it. An 8-1 lead for the Baby Blues. Right off the draw, sometimes if you get a clear win, you can string a pass or two together, and that's what you get. Riley Quinn, just his 3rd goal of the season.
Scoring for the Bengals, number 20, Riley Quinn.
Ball will go to Marshall here. This is Heller, pressured. And right there, you see kind of, it looks like that last pressure there, it looks like that's what's going to draw the flag. And that is the guy who just scored the goal. That's Riley Quinn.
Penalty on the Bengals, number 21, Russell Terrace, 30 seconds for holding.
Duluth Marshall will get this ball back with Eli Thorson. Feeds it back to the top. We'll see if Duluth Marshall can break through. Blaine, it's been all Blaine here in the game, 1. And number 2, all Blaine here in the second quarter, scoring 3 goals to the Hilltoppers' no goals. As we're just over a minute to play until the halftime break here at Blaine High School. Ted LaRue along with you on North Metro TV. Working that ball up ahead to Brady Pierpoint, the defender, and we've got a whistle. Less than a minute to go. Hilltoppers will take possession of the ball. This is Thorson looking to come through the middle, through the midfield. trying to create what has been a rare scoring chance for the Hilltoppers. And right as I say that, it's a turnover. Now a run back the other way for the Bengals. Big hit from behind. He might be a little bit shaken up. You see Kyler Black, the only goal scorer, taking down Ashton Trucon there towards midfield as he was trying to make a run. We take another look at it, and you can see there just the cross check from behind. Nothing accidental about that, certainly. 26 seconds remaining. Bengals see if they can get one last goal here before the end of the half. Got a great chance to fire this one home, and that's exactly what they do. Weston Johnson joins Ethan Burnett as the 2 goal scorers in the first half for Blaine, as Johnson nets his 12th goal of the season and a 9-1 lead for the Bengals. That one certainly had some zip on it. All Bengals here in this first half. And we've just got a stalemate at midfield, and that will bring the second quarter and the first half to an end. Bengals 9 and Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers 1 after one half. From beautiful Blaine, it's been lots of scoring and a little bit of contact as well. Second half right around the corner on North Metro TV.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Back at Blaine High School, second half underway, and like the first half, Blaine on the attack here to start things off in the third. And well, that's about as good as an opportunity as they have had. They've had a lot of good ones. Axelrod looking for Johnson, but some good defensive play there by Duluth Marshall to kind of keep this one at bay, at least for the time being. Thorson looking to feed that one over to Sam Barry, but it's knocked away. Now Barry feeds things off. Marshall looking to kind of get things reset. Anderson on a little bit of a bounce there to Thorson. Talked about it in the first half. Bengals keeping Marshall out on this perimeter, and they're just trying to shovel one towards the net. And that one misses a lot. And a whistle. Here's Burnett. Or not, Burnett plays for Blaine. This is Kyler Black. Kyler Black in the middle. That one shoveled wide, and it's just scooped up by Riley Theris, the goalie for the Bengals here today. Hilltoppers looking to come back the other way. This is Thorson. Thorson spinning free. Spaniel defending. Leighton Anderson looking to get things started. Barry once again cut off on his pursuit to get more towards the net. This is Fred Owen, and a shot, and the second goal of the game for the black and gold of the Hilltoppers. Fred Owen, just his second goal of the season in his 8th game played here on the year. And you see kind of the one hop, and the thing about that play is Fred Owen's concentration to take it off of the one hop, scoop it in his net, and then fire it right away. That's certainly some good hand-eye coordination to be able to get that one done. And the second goal on the board here for Duluth Marshall. But just like that, Blaine had a really good opportunity and they've had some really good crisp passing in this one. Riley Theris couldn't quite hold on to it for the scoring opportunity and the scoring chance there. Heller brings this one up. Let's see if Marshall can make this 2 in a row here. This is Romo. Gets it off to Heller. Heller back to Romo. Some good pressure there on defense there by Riley Quinn, the long stick midi, forcing this one back out to midfield. Quinn has a goal in this game, and now on the run. This is Matthew Davidson. Pass in front, knocked away, but somehow, some way, the ball meets twine after all of that bouncing around, and it's the 10th goal of the game for the Bengals. Sometimes you get the ball near the net, and sometimes it bounces your way, and things have been bouncing the way of the Bengals here today. A replay will hopefully tell the story. This one just popped into the air after that pass, and it was close enough where it just took a bounce into the back of the net there. And getting credit for the goal, I believe it was 23 Sebastian Baldwin, which would make it his second goal of this game. And you hear the PA announcement, it is indeed Sebastian Baldwin. So now 3 Blaine scorers have 2 goals. The scoring has been fairly even for the Bengals today. Weston Johnson, Ethan Brunette, and Sebastian Baldwin with 2 goals on the day. And then you've got Noah Fish, Robert Crookshank, and Riley Quinn all with 1 goal. So it's kind of 3 guys with 2 goals, 3 guys with 1 goal. Pretty balanced scoring and lots of a diversity in attackers, certainly for this Blaine Bengals team here today. When Duluth Marshall has gotten on the board today, it's been almost an immediate response for Blaine, and that's what we've seen here early in the second half, within the first 4 minutes. Nice spin move to get free. And it didn't quite get there. There was some contact, certainly, and down is Ethan Burnett, one of the 2 goal scorers for Blaine. Oh, I'll be very curious to see exactly what happened here. Looking to spin, and then the contact's going to come afterwards there. That is some interesting stick placement. That's all we'll say about that. So he's going to walk this one off. He's going to shake this one off, and he'll be okay. He'll be back out there maybe in a handful of minutes. But Ethan Burnett is going to head to the sidelines here. And Duluth Marshall now will have the opportunity after that. Colin McCarthy has the ball taken away. Got a whistle there. Ashton Trucon involved in the play for Blaine. Marshall has possession. Thorson was looking to kind of break away towards the net, forgot the ball there. So that's maybe the most important part of a rush towards the net is possession. Crookshank thinks better of it, and he'll set something up. We talk about that patience in the first half, and Crookshank exudes some of that patience there as we're reaching the midway point here in the third quarter. Here's Axelrod firing from long range and gives the Bengals a 9-goal advantage. Usually we've seen Blaine kind of take their time on the outside. Not a ton of shots from the perimeter, so to speak, but that one, Axelrod taking advantage of it, and now he's got his second goal of the game. Another look, getting free, and a good old-fashioned ground ball tickles the twine in the back of the net. So now 4 Bengals have scored 2 goals in this game. Riley Quinn showing the moves near the midfield. Got down in deep there for Grant Frischman. He kind of works that thing back out. Russell Theras gives it off to Axelrod. Coming off that goal from that long-range goal just about a minute or so ago. Axelrod now at X in behind the net, looking to spin, looking to get free. Axelrod spins back. There's a shot. It hit the net, but you got to go between the orange post, and that did not happen for Mr. Axelrod there. So Marshall will have a chance to move things forward. Here's Haight up the midfield. Try to throw it out there to Colin McCarthy to get a better opportunity and more space when Blaine defenders converged. Certainly didn't go his way there. Blaine on the attack, looking to get this one to the middle. That was Axelrod. He couldn't quite handle the pass. It's picked up by Kyler Black, and a foot race there on the far sideline for Black. Evades a couple of Blaine defenders. Gets rid of it. He was being harassed there coming up the middle. Sam Berry over there as we've got ourselves a little bit of a mini pile. Barry Anderson over on that far side of the field for Duluth Marshall. Here's Trucon, Ashton Trucon up the middle, trying to winds and fires and smoke it in there, saying, hey, my good buddy Steve Axelrod, you know, what you can do from the outside, maybe I can do a little bit better, but goes a little bit wide with the shot attempt. Here's Weston Johnson. Johnson fires it, one hopper, trying to get that ground ball. Blaine will, the shot goes wide, and now Duluth Marshall will take possession. A lot of scoring early in this half, but it certainly dialed down. We had a 9-1 score at halftime, so it's 2-1 here in the third quarter, second half, in favor of the Bengals. Weston Johnson will take this one off the whistle, and he gets hit from behind. Play keeps going. Johnson feeds it up. There's Axelrod. Oh, there's a nice save from Brown. That one clearly ricocheted off of his body. He's had a couple of nice saves here tonight. This one might be a little bit more lopsided if it wasn't from those saves from Wyatt Brown. Hilltoppers penalty here coming up. Brown on the season, a 12.4 goals against average. His save percentage sitting at 61.7 is higher than any save percentage from any of the goalies that Blaine has this season. Bengals will work it around towards X in the back. Remember, coming off of a penalty from the Hilltoppers, so Blaine certainly operating with an advantage. Johnson fires it wide. Hilltoppers take possession. Joey Gregorich. Blaine wants to take advantage here with the man advantage, and certainly got some contact there from Rilo Haight. And we're going to get a timeout called by Blaine here as they maintain an 11-2 lead and have the advantage coming off of that Duluth Marshall penalty so far in this game. So another recap of the scoring throughout this game is we talked about even scoring for Blaine earlier on, and it's gotten a lot more even in terms of the 2-goal scorers. Sebastian Baldwin, who had the very first goal of this game, he's added a second today, so he's got 2 goals. Ethan Burnett is a 2-goal scorer. Weston Johnson has 2. We've seen Steven Axelrod from distance get his second goal of the game. So that's 4 2-goal scorers for the Bengals, 3 1-goal scorers. Noah Fish, Robert Cruikshank, and Riley Quinn have all scored. And I certainly think that the depth has been on display for Blaine, and exactly not only the depth of players that can get in, that can attack, that can get towards the middle, and that can eventually get goals on this thing, but guys that can certainly set up the plays as well. So we've certainly seen that throughout this game as well. For Duluth Marshall, Fred Owen has scored. Kyler Black also has scored during this game. So you look at Kyler Black was the leading scorer, so he's got 12 goals this season. Fred Owen only had 1 goal coming into this game, so he's got 2 goals on the day. That's where we sit. Blaine 11, Duluth Marshall 2, with 2 seconds north of 3.5 to go. There in the third, and down goes those 2 seconds. Russell Therese looking to juke and jive his way to get an opening. Pass a little bit too strong. This one retrieved and scooped up by Weston Johnson. Down low to Cruikshank. He gets replaced by Axelrod. They're trading places again. Up to Johnson. Johnson in the middle. Save and a rebound. Second chance opportunity. Cruikshank ends up with the goal. And now plus 10 on the board for the Bengals. We've been talking here throughout the second half of 2 goal scorers. That's the second goal of the game. And Crookshank, what a nice save. Once again, Brown getting his left leg out there. Kick save and a beauty, as they say on the ice. But the rebound, second chance. Crookshank saying hello to the 2 goal scorer club here in this one.
Scoring his second of the evening for the Bengals, number 8, Robert Cruikshank.
Russell Therese spins free. He'll kind of settle in. Lots of momentum lately, as we've been talking about throughout the course of this broadcast for Blaine. And not only have they had momentum, but they've had a lot of goals with those victories. We kind of rewind: 12 goals against Anoka, 10 goals against Hudson, 14 goals in their last outing against Totino Gray. So this is a team that's been scoring a lot. And hey, what's one more? The first member of the 3-goal club is Robert Cruikshank, scoring back-to-back goals and a 13 spot on the board now for the Baby Blues. See Axelrod starting the play, bouncing. That's just a great pass. One thing that's really impressed me throughout the course of this game is just the crisp passing, whether it's been net to net or whether it's been some of these ground balls as well. Blaine has done a really good job at threading the needle in some of these passes, and even the easy passes, just stringing together some tic-tac-toe opportunities as well. Turnover, Blaine will take over as they have dominated this game throughout. Marshall obviously has gotten a couple of goals in this game, but on both of those goals, Blaine has responded within at least the next 90 seconds with a goal of their own. So Duluth Marshall has not been able to get any sort of momentum throughout this game, as we've got a timeout here with 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and the Bengals hold a 11-goal lead as of right now here in this ball game. So we were talking about it before, just the amount of offense that we've seen, and really in the victories we've seen all sorts of offense for Blaine, and we haven't really seen a lot of close losses, or sorry, a lot of low-scoring wins is what I was trying to say for Blaine. We talked about the last 3, and there was a 15-12 win earlier on against Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids, and even in their losses, 3 out of the first 5 losses of the season were losses to, they had double-digit goals scored in those games. So this is certainly a Blaine team that can put up some goals, but we've seen the offense on display here today for Blaine, but we've also seen the defense on display as they're keeping Duluth Marshall really at bay, not allowing a lot of chances in the interior, in the slot area, not a lot of runs down the alley for DM throughout this matchup. So it's been the perfect structure. It's been the perfect outing to kind of maintain this momentum and certainly keep this momentum going for this Blaine team right now. Under 2 minutes to play in the third, as the Bengals start off with this one, as they're looking to continue to coast throughout the latter stages of this game. Here's Burnett. Fires going up top. Where Mama hides the cookies in the cookie jar, and he says, I'll take that. I'll take that. He joins the 3-goal club. Burnett and Cruikshank, the members here tonight, and it's 14-2 in favor of the Bengals. Spinning around, and he knew exactly where he was going with that one, just below the crossbar, and a beautiful goal for Burnett, the senior midi on this team.
Scoring his third of the evening for the Bengals, number 12, Ethan Burnett.
Ethan Burnett, just 4 goals on the season coming into this game, and he scored 3 tonight. So he's nearly matching his season total. Clearly one of the best games that he's had so far this season. Got a scrum for the ball down there. Not much going on in that attack for Blaine. Ethan Salco feeds it back to Brown as Brown playing, remember 500? You toss it up there, try to catch the ball. 500, that's what that one kind of looked like. But nobody got 500 points on that one. As Blaine looking to certainly progress the ball down the field. Hey, at this rate, they might score 500 goals. Maybe not. But the Bengals have possession as they're looking to, well, you got to get to 15 before you get to 500. And there it is. Speak of the devil, it's 15 on the board. And they're going to call off the goal here. It would have been the 4th of the day by Robert Cruikshank, but no goal on this one. Take another look here. We've reached the end of the third quarter, and this one, all Bengals. A 12-goal lead for Blaine. 14-2 after 3. We've got 12 more minutes to play. Blaine coasting here on North Metro TV.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love. Love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our everyday.
Three quarters down, 1 to go. 12 more minutes on the clock. And 12 minutes separates Blaine from their 5th win of the season. They're sitting at 4-6, and pending the miracle of all miracles, this is going to be a Blaine team that's going to be at 5-6 when they wake up tomorrow morning. Off the draw, Blaine will start off with Russell Therese. Therese feeds it back to Ethan Burnett, a 3-goal scorer tonight. And that clock is certainly going to be running in this one. I think Blaine is just, they're content to work this ball around. Right as I say that, number 1, Blake Bunis, trying to really get a great opportunity here. Logan Vang, loose ball in the middle. Everybody kind of waving at the ball here. Bunis got it back. The freshman wasn't quite to get the ball completely in his net to get the most velocity behind that shot. Bunis trying to turn the corner, can't do it. Some pretty good defense there by Joby Gregorich. Some contact there. Carter Tansky Shoving down the Blaine attacker. Here comes Marshall trying to get something started. They get it in behind X. But once again, a nice job by Blaine kind of working them to the outside, not allowing anything in the middle. Black at the top. Kyler Black, 1 goal in this game. Looking to pass it off there to Bauer Abister, but he couldn't hold on to it. Now it's Ezra Rude. Rude tightly defended. Here's Marshall looking to get on the attack with Barry. Barry feeds it off. Trying to get to the inside there, defended by Jackson Wilson. And here comes the flag. I believe it's going to be on the midfielder Matthew Davidson. As we've kind of got our second crop of players in there for Blaine. They're getting their shot at this one. Trying to see exactly what's the delay here. A delay no more, as Marshall will get an opportunity to get their third goal on the board, and that's exactly what happens. Leighton Anderson sniping one into the back of the net. Another look at this one. It's good on basketball. They call that drive and kick. Have someone waiting there at the three-point line to fire it in. Unfortunately for Duluth Marshall, that one does not count for 3 points. It only counts for 1. But it is their third goal on the board here in this game. Marshall looking to maybe cut this one to 10. Salco feeds it around. Kyler Black down exactly where he wants it, but shoots just a little bit wide. A great individual effort for Black to get at least a little bit of a look at the net, but goes a little bit wide. Here's McCarthy. McCarthy has this one taken away. Picked up, I believe that's Weston Johnson over there. Now Ethan Burnett picks it up. So now you got more of these first teamers in there for Blaine now. To about the halfway point of the fourth quarter here. There, you see a lot of contact behind the net. I think we're going to get a penalty here. Rilo Haight was applying the contact. Once we hear the whistle, Weston Johnson will be the one to start here. Bengals get it down low. This is where they want it with Cruikshank. Especially as of late. He's been the one that's scored goals. But you know who else can score goals? Steven Axelrod fires it from distance, and he gets his third goal of the game. Axelrod, his 23rd goal of the season. And just taking a couple of steps, once he gets the ball, taking a couple of steps into the open space, and it's enough to gain separation and fire it home for the goal. Boy, Steven Axelrod, one of the top scorers on this team. He's a freshman, as you saw on the graphic right there. You've got a good amount of seniors that are highly involved in the play. Of course, Noah Fish is a senior. Ethan Burnett is a senior. Sebastian Baldwin, all multi-goal scorers in this game, is also a senior. But you're looking at Axelrod. He's sitting there as a freshman. Weston Johnson with a couple of goals tonight. He's sitting there as a sophomore. So that's kind of the building block, certainly, of this team for the future going forward from the attack position for this Blaine Bengals squad. We're under 4 minutes here. Thankful the weather cleared up. We got some big time contact, and we got some late whistles here. But we had some weather roll through around 3 o'clock here today. But certainly cleared up in time, even though it's been a little bit windy here at Blaine High School. Take another look here at this contact. First going to the legs. Going up, our body's like, hey, you take the shoulders, I'll take the legs, and together we'll take this guy down. But in the process, we'll also get a penalty. That's kind of what went down there. Blake Bunas lost track of the ball there, but Blaine is able to get this thing back. Here's Jared Isaacson. Back to Isaacson. He'll operate from the top. And these back to these second team guys here for Blaine. Isaacson looking to create. Will he fire it? He's kind of looking to dish it off to a teammate who's going to fire it into the back of the net. And that's the midi, Blake Bunas, the freshman who gets in on the score sheet here today. Blake Bunas did not appear in the season box score for Blaine. So I am safely assuming that is his first goal of the season and the 16th goal of the game tonight for the Bengals. 2 minutes to play. In that slot area, and it just goes wide, but a flag comes down, and you can see the reaction from 12 Kyler Black. It's like, man, I got that close and still kind of fired it wide. But it's been that kind of day, maybe for the Hilltoppers in this one. Hilltoppers trying to get a scoring chance, but we're turned away. As we're right at 60 seconds to go in the fourth, as this one's been ticking down with that running clock here in the fourth quarter. It's a good opportunity. This is kind of You see it at the college level in some sports as well, how important it is to be able to kind of get these padded leads. And it gets game experience, even though it's a little bit of garbage time here as you got some contact in there towards the end. But to be able to get that game experience, if you're playing a lot of close games, you don't get kind of your younger crop of players a lot of that experience. So this can really pay off and really certainly build a future. There are some learning experiences that certainly can be taken from some of these late game situations for some of these freshmen. Of course, at the high school level, you got some 8th graders. Maybe even in some sports, you got some 7th graders. So great opportunity to learn kind of for this Blaine group right now. And that will put, you hear the horn, that will put the bow on this one. The final score, the Blaine Bengals 16 and the Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers 3. Blaine was led by Stephen Axelrod, 3 goals, Robert Cruikshank with 3 goals, Ethan Burnett with 3 goals, Sebastian Baldwin and Weston Johnson scored a pair for Blaine as well in this one. They controlled this one from the outset. They improved to 5-6 on the season, and now the Bengals have won 4 in a row, including 5 out of their last 6 games. So for our entire crew here on North Metro TV, my name is Ted LaRue. Dominant win for Blaine, 16-3. We'll see you next time on our next edition of North Metro TV Sports. Have a good night.